Alrighty. We haven't done the podcast in a while, but we've just been having shit to do.
Yeah.
This is just going to be, I guess, Devin and I is doing an intro or just a quick rundown of the games and of the NFL games. Because college, I don't know. The last few years, I still love watching college football, but it's just like the first 4 weeks, there's a lot of, like those Alabama versus Akron
Yeah.
type games. I mean, there's
Yeah.
always the good, like the Washington, Auburn, or Stanford, or I mean, there's always a game. Or this week there's Penn State, Ohio State,
Stanford
Notre Dame. Actually, yeah, I guess let's just do those two games. I hope Penn State wins.
Yes.
Because fuck Ohio State.
And Urban Meyer.
And especially Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
And then, always fuck Notre Dame. I mean,
yeah, of course.
the only time I think I could root for Notre Dame was if they were playing the Ducks. Because I'm an irrelevant Oregon State fan.
Yeah.
But, no, we're going to do NFL. So, I picked the Rams, Cody picked the Rams, Devin picked the Rams, Gordy picked the Vikings. And I don't see why people would pick the Vikings.
No.
Other than, I don't know, I guess just a gamble for fuck's sakes. But
I guess. I mean,
it's just, I'm a Vikings fan, but, their offense line's dog shit, and the Rams have a good defensive line.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to say on that? Because that's kind of why I think the Rams are going to win, is just that kind of, it's going to be hard for the Vikings to run the ball, and, they won't, Peters is hurt, and Talib is hurt. Talib's out for 8 weeks, at least.
Yeah.
But I feel like with their front line, you really don't need insanely good corners. You just need guys that can.
Don't get beat.
Yeah, just don't get beat deep.
Just have two safeties on the field.
Yeah. I'm a Viking fan, but I don't think it's going to go well. Especially it being a short week, too. If it was on a Sunday, I'd still pick the Rams, but I would still, as a Viking fan, feel good about my chances just because it's the NFL. But I don't know. I just feel like 4 days after a game, where they fucking lost embarrassingly. So yeah, that's my. Is there anything else you wanna?
No, I think he covered it.
And there's
pretty good.
Yeah. And then second game is Jets versus Jaguars. We all have the Jaguars winning because, honestly, the Jets' offense for 2 weeks has been shitty and
Awful.
And it's gonna be expected because Sam Darnold's a rookie, but he's not. It's not like he's got a stud offense that goes around him. So with that defense of the Jaguars, I just feel like it's gonna be pretty hard for the Jets to score points.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, yeah. Let's drinking some Powerades and giving you a little chance to put your 2 cents in, but you're just like, yeah, fuck it. It's pretty simple. Like,
it is.
They're pretty average. What do they call the running backs and receivers? Skill position. I'm tired. The skill position. They have average skill position play. Like you would like them on those. Like if you're, I like Owosu and Anderson and stuff, but they need someone better.
Yeah, they just
if they had Odell Beckham.
They overachieved last year.
Yeah, if they had Odell Beckham with them, then that would be that's a good receiver. Owosu's good, but he's not number one good.
Yeah.
And it's the Jaguars with a good defense. Dolphins, Patriots. everyone picked the Patriots but Devin, and it's not. I don't feel good about my pick. Like, I wanted to pick the Dolphins, but I just have this feeling that if I write down the Dolphins, it's going to be the Pats, and then then it's over with. How do you feel about what would be, what's like your kind of main reason or two why you picked the Dolphins? Like,
the Patriots, they have 3 receivers able to play. Amendola, this is his last week.
You mean Edelman?
Edelman.
Actually, Amendola is in the game, but yeah.
Yeah. Edelman, the last week of his suspension. Who knows if Gordon's going to be healthy this week. So, yeah, they only have 3 receivers. So, Brady's throwing to Gronk and running backs.
Yeah, how do you feel about how do you feel about the Josh Gordon thing?
That was weird. I mean, why, the Browns, they're coming out and they said that it's just the best timing to part ways. I don't buy that. I think a couple years ago was the best time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what happened with that deal. It's just odd. It's very Cleveland.
Yeah.
Very Cleveland.
And it'd be totally New England if he were to produce. I mean, if he actually was and it's a big if, but if he was 2013 Josh Gordon, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's what sucks about, I feel bad about it because it's he did that with Brandon Weeden as his quarterback in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And he put up those kinds of stats with also missing 2 games from suspension.
That's the other thing.
He has the potential of being literally one of the greatest running backs or wide receivers of all time.
Yeah.
But the poor guy, he's got addictions. So I guess, yeah, so that's just their offense, their shitty offense is kind of...
And their defense, that rookie linebacker they got out of Purdue, they put him on the IR today. Right. And Hightower doesn't look himself coming back from the injury. Their defensive backs are a mess. Yeah,
other than Gilmore, other than that, it's pretty bad.
Chung has a concussion, doesn't he?
Yeah, he did. He definitely had one. He didn't play in the Lions game, so we'll see.
That's right, he did.
That was crazy seeing Tom Brady only throw for 100 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just... I mean, they've gotten their butts kicked, that Monday night game in Kansas City where then Trent Dilfer made his infamous, they're over and all that kind of shit. But... I don't know. I think this could be the year that it's the end of the Belichick.
The culmination of all the last 3 off seasons.
Yeah, and I don't know. It'll be. I think if they win if they win this game, it will be pretty big because I think Miami's got it.
Yeah.
Good enough to. Devin almost fell over. I don't know what he was doing.
The end of the couch is a lot closer than what I thought.
God, that was good. All right, well, let's move on because that Tannehill's a lot oh God. Tannehill's a lot like I don't want to hear shit she's going in here. Cody's girlfriend. Taking the dog out now. But his touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone last week was just a dime.
Yes.
By Tannehill.
Yeah.
And he's not bad. He just can't. It's just his health that I'd be worried about. And then there's all right. So let's move on. Eagles, Titans. Honestly, I think it's going to be kind of the way the Eagles and the Titans have been playing this year, low scoring. And the Eagles win because they just... Carson Wentz is a lot better than those guys.
That's the thing. And the other thing, how many guys are still out for the Eagles? I mean, is Jeffrey coming back yet, or
I don't think so. What hurts the Titans too is they don't have Delaney Walker.
Yeah, that's a killer.
Because he's has obviously been their guy for years.
Yeah.
God, he's like one of those guys that he had one of those careers that was like, damn, he was actually a lot better than people.
Oh yeah, he was on the Niners and the Titans.
Yeah, and he got his money going to Tennessee.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That game's just gross. I don't really care for it. Texans Colts. We all picked the Colts, which I'm fine with because at least if the Texans win, that means I won't lose any points. It's a push, and I just can't. If they lose this game, how from 1 to 10, 1 meaning Bill O'Brien's job is safe, to 10 he's fired. Where would you?
It's the GM.
It's the GM. You think that will get? You don't think Bill O'Brien will?
Bill O'Brien didn't trade for Brock Osweiler.
That is true.
Or sign Brock Osweiler to all that money. I don't know how big he was in trading all those picks to move up to get Deshaun Watson. I mean, that was good, but they also, they have a really good young quarterback, but he's having to run for his life. And but you don't have that quantity, that draft capital to be able to build around him, kind of a thing for a couple years. And then they're still paying big free agent money to Lamar Miller, who hasn't produced. That eats up a lot of cap for offensive line.
Yeah, they haven't really drafted an offensive lineman.
No.
Yeah, I think he'll
somehow they were able to get their staple at left tackle for the longest time. Dwayne Brown upset, and he gets traded to the Seahawks for, I think, a mid-round pick.
It's amazing how last year Deshaun Watson was the story, and this year's just irrelevant. Bills Packers, we picked the Packers, all of us, because I mean, why would we? I know the Bills beat the Vikings last week, but they just don't.
Yeah.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers will make it through the whole season?
I don't know. That game last weekend against the Redskins,
He didn't do very good?
No, and out in the elements, it looked like he was having a hard time kind of moving around a little bit.
I mean, you can do that, like Philip Rivers playing on a torn ACL.
Yeah.
But you can do that when you're playing when it's the playoffs and the Super Bowl.
One, potentially 2 games
left. Yeah, I can get that. It's that doing that for 17 weeks is what I just don't see how he could last.
No.
If he, and it sucks, it's gonna happen, and it's the same thing that happened in the NBA. The NBA we never got a LeBron versus Kobe final.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna get an Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady Super Bowl. It's not gonna happen.
Nope.
And so, I wonder if the mic picked up that fart. I farted and that'd be funny.
It did look like there was a little bump.
So.
In the meter.
Because I was on the red zone, I didn't see much of the game, but how did Josh Allen do aside from running?
He didn't. There weren't a lot of times where, maybe a few where he forced it into traffic. He didn't turn it over. He kind of had guys out in space and hitting backs, leaking out, and he moved through his
Why did they
progressions,
not just start him?
I don't know. Well, because...
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't get this, it's like everyone's worried about, don't have him be David Carr, but it's Yeah, but that took years of David Carr being sacked by line. You know, it wasn't like it was only David Carr's rookie year where he was.
That was an expansion team.
Yeah, not two.
You know, those comparisons. I don't know why people make those comparisons.
Like you don't want him to be like David Carr. It's like, well, but they're not. The Bills aren't an expansion team.
Yeah,
like you said, like they've got players.
They threw a rookie out there on a team the first year of existing.
And Josh Allen is playing for a team that just went to the playoffs. Yeah. So he should be able to.
The defense finally figured it out last weekend. It seems.
Yeah.
But who knows? Football's fucking weird this year.
Lions, Cowboys. We all pick the Lions, but I always pick against the Cowboys.
Dude, I don't think Dak is the answer, honestly.
No, actually, now that the offensive line isn't as good as it used to be, and he doesn't have Jason, like what you really like people
that
really
safety valve.
People and that, but then also people I just think have always taken for granted how good actually Tony Romo was.
Yeah.
Where there were years where he was on a team that roster-wise that surrounded him, they were thoroughly average players.
Yeah.
And they would go 8-8, 9-7, and like I remember when they played the Broncos, like the year that the Broncos. Like when Peyton Manning broke the record for like that was a shootout and he ended up throwing a pick and it's like, well, the Broncos are scoring every time they touch the fucking ball. Like I have to do.
Yeah.
Like I just really think that Tony Romo was a lot better quarter. The thing that kills him is the fumbling the snap on the field goal on the extra point. That.
And all the playoff stuff.
Well, the playoff
end of the year stuff.
Yeah, but they. That's just them. Like, he's on a team with a shitty coach.
Yeah.
Ran by a egomaniac owner.
Yes.
Like, if he was on a different team, I think people would have seen the better side of him, right? Buccaneers, Bears. Everyone picked the Bucs except for Devin. And that makes sense. The Bears have a really good defense, and they have a shitty quarterback. Which every day, Bears fans, when you watch Mitchell Trubisky, just remember you could have had Patrick Mahomes. And as Mahomes breaks records 3 games into his career, your guy still looks like a fucking... Trubisky doesn't look any better this year than last year.
He almost looks worse. He has no, like with fade routes, he has no touch. Or not touch, but just no accuracy. I don't think he has any guts, honestly.
No, he definitely, when it was, when the Packers took the lead, he was like, I'm on national television against Aaron Rodgers. I am not up for. I thought about this earlier when I was driving over to your house. Wouldn't it? I almost wonder if they should just say "fuck this." You sit down until you, and then I'm serious. I think they should be playing Chase Daniels. I think if the Bears play Chase Daniels, I could see them winning this division. And I could see him going to the playoffs.
It could be.
For some reason, I don't get why Chase Daniels never, like if you were the Titans, they would have been better off there's so many of these teams, I just feel like, I don't know, how do you feel about Chase Daniels? Cause I feel like he does pretty, like when he would play for the Chiefs, when it was like one of those meaningless games.
I mean, there's a reason why he keeps getting backup spots.
Yeah.
He's not really dependable.
Yeah.
Which he is.
He doesn't have the potential of Mitchell Trubisky, but fuck potential if it doesn't.
Yeah.
The thing about potential doesn't mean shit.
No.
I mean, like Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon has the potential to be the greatest receiver of all time, but So what?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean shit. I honestly, I think if they don't make the playoffs this year, they could look at just like if we just had a quarterback that was consistent.
Yeah.
And I think if they play Chase
they
Daniels,
have playmakers.
if they had Chase Daniels playing, I think the Bears would be in the playoffs this year because their defense is disgusting.
Yeah, it's insanity.
And it starts with what's his first name? Kelvin Mack? Khalil Mack. God, Kelvin Mack. With Khalil Mack, it starts with him. So, I mean, that was a game where I really I wanted to lean to the Bears, but as a Vikings fan, I fucking hate the Bears, so and I just would love the idea of that they traded up to get fucking Trubisky.
One spot.
It's like, okay, if the 49ers take Trubisky, so what? Take another quarterback.
The 49ers weren't taking Trubisky.
And the 49ers weren't going to take Trubisky. No, they're going to just...
So when John Lynch got the call, he had to put it down and talk to people and be like, is this for real?
Are they really?
Are they really offering this for... Well, I think it was like, he looked around like, who are they going to take? They're offering all this to move up one spot, and someone's like, I think they're going Trubisky, and John Lynch is like, really?
Is that what you've heard, or is that just...
I think it was, on like ESPN or Sports Illustrated. I mean, that's not verbatim.
But it's kind of like that. They wrote it in a nicer way.
Yeah. It's basically the shock of moving up one spot in the 49ers. Like, alright, well... I think the main thing was John Lynch was worried that they were going to trade up to take Solomon Thomas or something. Because I think Solomon Thomas was the guy they wanted to pick anyway.
Yeah.
And so they're, okay.
Hell yeah, whatever.
We'll move back, get more picks, and get the guy we wanted anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that was amazing. Bengals Falcons, same thing. Devin went with the Bengals, and we all went with the Falcons. I just went with the Falcons because, like, you're 1-2, and in this division, the NFC South, it might not be the best division, but I think it's the deepest.
It might be the best.
And it might be the best because, like, I mean, seriously, if the Buccaneers win, they're 3-1.
Yeah.
If the Panthers win, they're oh wait, do the Panthers have a bye already?
Do they have a bye? I think they do, actually. Do they?
I didn't write down the Panthers.
I can't remember all the teams that are on the bye this week.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I can't. But yeah, I don't see the Panthers on there. Who else? But yeah, so the Panthers are off on a bye, which isn't a bad thing considering Greg Olson's got a broken foot, so it gives him a chance to
exactly
get back. And also what's the lineman's name?
Matt Khalil.
Yeah, Matt Khalil. He's hurt. And then the Saints are the Saints.
Yeah.
And then like again, the Buccaneers could be 3-1, or at the least they'll be 2-2 at the least. And so I just think I'm just going with the fact that the Falcons need to get that win.
They do,
especially after you consider like Matt Ryan. If you're Matt Ryan, it's like I threw for 500 yards and threw 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, and like, wait, what?
That's the thing. They have a shit ton of injuries on defense. I mean, to fucking stud middle linebacker, stud safety. Like their backup safety got hurt last week, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They're kind of thin there on defense. That was my just whole thinking.
With the Falcons, yeah.
Why I chose the Bengals.
Yeah. True. I didn't think of that. I don't know, it's weird.
It's Bengals. Weird. I mean,
because it's the Bengals.
With how this year's gone, the Falcons' backup defenders will just fucking pitch a shutout probably.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Seahawks, Cardinals. Jesus, the only
Seahawks.
Seahawks. We all pick Seahawks, obviously, and I guess it'll be interesting to see how Josh Rosen does. But
can we talk about how moronic it was to throw him in?
Yeah,
last week at that point
go
in time?
for it. Go for it. Do your rant. I mean, because I was kind of working on the website at the time, so I didn't really watch it, and I also my red zone was being shitty, so I actually changed it to the PGA Championship and watched Tiger Woods more than at that point.
Yeah.
So
the Cardinals are leading 14 nothing pretty much all game. And the second half, they kind of, I can't remember when about, I think it was late in the third quarter when the Bears started doing stuff because Sam Bradford started turning the ball over. 3 straight possessions, I think. And then the Bears go up. And then there's a little bit over 2 minutes left, and they just throw Josh Rosen in at that point.
God. I mean, I can say as a Viking fan, I don't miss Sam Bradford for 1 minute a day, but you can't do that.
No. Not only...
I mean, and it's on top, you don't want to go 0-3.
Yeah.
You're done. The Cardinals season is over.
Yes, it is. I mean, you did that, to a guy, he turned the ball over 3 times, but okay. But then you're going to throw a rookie in his first regular season action. He's got to lead him down. I mean, he just has to get a field goal, but still. Against the Bears defense?
Yeah, you're going up against one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just stupid coaching.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck them.
Stupid.
Speaking of bad coaching, the Browns versus the Raiders. 2 coaches that, probably should be coaches. Because I don't know why the fuck they got rid of Khalil Mack, Khalil Mack for the Raiders.
From what it sounds like, Mark Davis doesn't have any money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Mark Davis has a lot of money, and he gave a lot of it to fucking John Gruden.
And he's got to move that team to Las Vegas and build him a stadium.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, I think they made the playoffs that 1 year, and I think they're going to be back to another 10 years of being irrelevant.
Yeah, they really fucked that whole thing up. They got rid... Well, first, it was that game when Derek Carr got hurt. Mark Davis was pissed, rightfully so. They're kicking the shit out of the Colts. And Derek Carr is in the game and still throwing. Rightfully so, he shouldn't have been in the game. Somebody else should have been in. But how they're going to solve that was by firing the offensive coordinator who had him perform at such a high level on the offense that year, Bill Musgrave.
Yeah.
Instead of, kind of reprimanding Del Rio because he's the head fucking coach for keeping the quarterback in there that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that Jack Del Rio is the coach of the Raiders.
Yeah. And it's a Raiders thing.
Yeah. So let me look. You picked the Browns.
Yes.
I picked the Browns.
Did anybody pick the Raiders?
Cody picked the Raiders.
Of course you did.
And they're playing.
Oh, for the first 3 quarters, yeah, but then they won't do shit in the fourth.
Well, I don't know. The thing about Baker Mayfield is I know it was only a half plus a couple minutes.
Yeah.
The thing though about his passing though was he looked like a pro.
Throwing it downfield.
He's throwing it downfield. He was throwing in tight windows.
And the thing, they were they make somebody did in college, the seam routes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they are doing things that remind him of college, but that's fine. But he was throwing like
he was
professional
passes.
throws, and he would have completed more passes if his receivers weren't so shitty.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he's throwing to shitty fucking receivers.
Yeah. Besides Jarvis.
Oh, I forgot about Jarvis Landry. But yeah, I mean, after Jarvis Landry, it's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked the Browns, because I just think they're not going to get a pass rush on him. And the Browns have a good defense.
They do. They have a really
good defense. And so I think they're going to win.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'll be interesting to see that. To have the Browns, I mean, it's going to be like to have a winning record. That might not have happened since like the year that they won 10-6 and barely missed the playoffs.
Yeah, because of the force out. They would have beat the Cardinals that game.
Oh, fuck. All right, the Saints, Giants. We all picked the Saints because, of course,
they're gonna run Saquon Barkley into the ground.
They're going to run him into the ground, and boy, oh boy. I mean, they can't... The thing, though, Sam Darnold has to play better, and the other rookie is not named Baker Mayfield, because Baker Mayfield went number 1, so the Giants couldn't have picked him.
Yeah.
But, I mean... If they're average and like Sam Darnold, I mean, it really depends on how Sam Darnold's career goes. So it's not a thing, but I just think the Giants should have just. You're in an era with a shit where it is better to have a mobile quarterback. Like the days of even Matt Ryan has evolved to not be. He's obviously not fast enough. Even Joe Flacco, like they're all moving around more. Like
those guys,
they're not fast by any means, but you can't be a in the pocket guy. Like even Drew Brees is doing a spin move, running for a touchdown.
Pretty spry at 39.
I mean, like you just like Tom Brady's just, and the only reason why Tom Brady can just sit back there, and he's just a magician with avoiding fucking sacks without having any mobility.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. Like,
no.
But Tom Brady, so it's like when there's no time, like, I think that's why, like, I mean, the Giants' offensive line is bad, but that's also, but Eli Manning is just so bad at, like, avoiding shit, too. Like, he can't break tackle. Because, like, last year, like.
Well, that's why Saquon Barkley, wasn't it against the Cowboys? He had like 14 receptions.
And there's probably like 50 yards.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
I mean, just because,
he just had to get the ball out of his hands.
oh shit. There's the check down.
Well, because like last year, like people talked about the Viking line being better than it was the year before when it was awful.
Yeah.
And that's what kept them out of making the playoffs. And it was better. But what people kind of forgot was that Case Keenum was amazing at escaping sacks.
Yes.
And so I think that kind of Eli Manning not being good at escaping sacks makes the Giant line being bad. It kind of emphasizes how bad they are.
Well, and it's also why that GM lost his job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he just has done a shitty job. Fucking.
I mean, I don't understand. The Chargers are now starting to figure it out finally.
Yeah.
But. And Pittsburgh too, but for the longest time, those three fucking teams that drafted quarterbacks in 2004, they really didn't help him out up front a whole lot.
With Philip Rivers?
And Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The Steelers finally have.
And the Chargers are starting to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of years where neither of those teams. Or, see, what's funny is, like, earlier in their careers, it was Eli Manning with the offensive line.
Yes. Yep.
And they had the shitty line, and now they have the good lines, and Eli has the shitty lines. Yeah. It's funny how that works. So, yeah, that's pretty simple, the Saints, because, Jesus. They're doing the same thing. It's been 3 years of having no offense.
Yeah.
And actually, 3 years, because last year, the thing is that year they made it to the playoffs was kind of fool's gold in a way, because their defense that year was insane.
Well, yeah, they went out and spent 3/4 of the salary cap on defense and free agents.
Yeah. And they were winning games like 13-10 and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And so, there's that. And then, let's fuck that. Let's move on. 49ers, Chargers, pretty simple.
Yep.
Chargers, no Jimmy G, plus, people got, and I don't want to say names, we're a little too, jumping up on the gravy train of the 49ers this year, where...
I just figured with that division, it's just the Rams.
Yeah. Well, I figured they'd probably finish higher, second in the division, but I figured their best record to be
and with how the NFC South goes, I think it's been 10 years since that division's had a back-to-back division winner.
Yeah.
And and with the Panthers, they always go up, and then there are mountains and valleys. They've been the last, I don't know, 3-4 years.
Well, because they've made the playoffs, but
yeah, and that was last year. And then usually, they make the playoffs, and then they kind of have an 8-8, 7-9 year. And the Falcon, I didn't know if they'd get it all figured out. I figured the Saints would do better, especially defensively. They're 2-1, but it's a soft 2-1.
It should be 1-2.
Yeah, it should be. Or 1-1-1.
Yeah, or 1-1-1. Yeah, exactly. Their first. Well, yeah, they lost the Bucks, and then they beat the Browns, and then they beat the Falcons. Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I kind of figured with Garoppolo having an off season under Shanahan.
Yeah.
That defense is fairly young. They still need some help defensively. And I didn't figure Jerick McKinnon would tear his ACL in the preseason.
Yeah. I think this year would be good for the 49ers is them to have a pretty shitty year now.
Yeah.
Where they can get a high draft pick that they can then trade to get more assets.
Pull a Colts.
Or, yeah. Exactly. Because, and with what they've already gone with the Bears stuff, you have the Bears stuff with because those were multi-year draft picks, wasn't there?
I think they should have maybe one or
they'll have at least one draft pick at the least.
Yeah.
And so you get another one, and they just draft some guys they need on defense, draft some receivers or a tight end because he needs. He's not thrown to the best of the best by any means.
No.
Except for Pettis is looking decent.
He is.
He's looking like that'd be a good... So get a receiver that goes well with him.
Yeah.
And I think he got something. All right. The Chargers, they're 1-2, but, come on. Their 2 losses were to the Rams and the Chiefs.
Yeah. Exactly.
The 2 teams that right now are playing the best football.
Yes.
Especially offensively.
Yes.
Sean McVay, holy shit, dude. That guy is an insanely good coach.
Yes.
Insanely good coach.
They might have a dynasty on their hands.
Yeah. The Rams have to you got to give it to the Rams ownership. They fucking hit a home run.
Yes, they did.
They have a coach for 20 years.
Yeah. Yep.
Till that guy wants to quit. Sean, they have a fucking coach.
Yep.
Because, Jared Goff's rookie year, he looked so awful.
Just that entire team.
Well, entire team, but just you're like, and you couldn't say no other he looked awful.
Well, yeah.
And now he's gonna be an MVP candidate.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
All right, Ravens Steelers. I am very intrigued about this game.
Yeah, same here.
Because are the Steelers bad? I mean, they won the game, but kind of like what we were talking about when I got here. It's like they won, but God, that didn't feel great.
No, not
like
at all.
If you're a Steelers fan, are you really that pumped?
No.
It's like he scored 30 points in the first half, pick six, one of them.
Yeah.
And then you had the random stiff arm play too. That was that Hayward number 97. Did you see him point at that was so awesome. Fucking mock that guy. The guy just ripping that guy's soul from him. So it's like they had a couple fluke plays in that game.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're still not getting the only way they've been really able to get Antonio Brown the ball is just they hike it and then just immediately it's almost like Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger they must not talk because they there's Reggie Wayne and Peyton Manning, there's Marvin Harrison, Peyton Manning. There's Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
There's Tom Brady, Julian Edelman. And then on the complete opposite side, you've got Roethlisberger and Brown, where it's they're not on the same page. There's something, and it's probably Antonio Brown, even though Ben Roethlisberger is a drama queen himself.
Yes.
It is just not to the level of Antonio Brown.
No.
So, with Hines Ward, he's had other receivers where he's had
Yeah.
Heath Miller.
Yes.
You can clearly tell that Ben Roethlisberger's had at least a professional relationship with other players.
Almost, yeah.
And right now, it looks like they've never played football with each other this year.
Oh, and Juju's taking
How
that
did Mason
over,
Rudolph? I was noticed on the bench they had Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
As the backup.
Mm-hmm. They cut Landry Jones.
They cut Landry Jones. So is Mason just the third stringer guy?
Yeah, I don't know if he's active, but he's still on the roster.
How did him and Dobbs do in the preseason? I didn't really pay attention to preseason.
Dobbs, that's what it was surprising. He didn't play a whole lot, from what I saw.
It was mostly Mason
and Landry Jones, and then they cut Landry Jones. It was weird. But yeah, they threw a lot of Mason Rudolph out there.
How'd he look?
He had some really good spots, and then he had some spots where he looked like a rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's preseason, so you're playing with shitty players.
Yeah. Too. When he was throwing to James Washington, his teammate at Oklahoma State, it looked really good.
Yeah. All right. Well, back to just Ravens, Steelers as a whole. It's it's hard to know much. The weird thing about the NFL, and this is a 4-year trend, is the first month of the season, you really don't know what you have.
No.
You don't know what the other we just don't know what teams have on either side. And so it just kind of
one thing that kind of distance from going back and talking about the Steelers. All these people talking about how they need to bring Le'Veon Bell back. They need to bring... Okay, one... He plays offense, not defense. And they can't stop.
Yeah, their problem is defense.
Yeah, it's fucking defensive back. And... Okay, running the ball, yeah, but James Conner's proven he can run the ball. They just don't.
Dude, that run he had to clinch the game.
Yeah.
Like, he's fine. Like,
he's
yeah.
totally fine.
That they don't need. I mean, like, I'm not one of those. I don't care about what Le'Veon Bell can do what he wants. Like, I don't care. I don't have an opinion on it. I'm not for him doing it. I'm not. Just get here and play. I don't care.
That stuff. Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
No.
If I'm the Steelers, I just, they should have just let him. I don't get why they're.
No. Or traded him at some point.
I mean, I just don't.
Years ago.
They should have found a team that'd be like, hey, would you guys pay him?
Yeah.
We'll do a trade with you if you're. They should just cut him.
Yes.
Why do you want him back? I'm sorry, he's gonna be fucking fat and out of shape.
Yeah.
Like, he's not gonna be ready to play football, and why? I mean, it's not gonna help the team. Like, if he comes back week 11, like, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, so what? Like, I mean, again, I'm not like, he can do what he wants, but if I was a lineman, if I was the other players, I'd be like,
yes.
Well, wait, so now you're going to come in we've gone through 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And now you're going to come in and, be the hero? No, fuck you. No.
Exactly.
I think they should just cut him.
Yeah.
Because he's not on, I mean, they wouldn't have to pay him, would they?
I don't know how they.
I mean, I guess.
Out.
I mean,
I have no idea.
I just go Connor and whatever. Just move on. I mean, shit, they're throwing the ball 1,000 times anyways.
Goddamn. 2 weeks ago, Roethlisberger, I think, had 34 attempts in the first half.
Yeah. He was just hucking it. Well, they had to because they got down 21-0 in the blink of an eye.
That's true.
That is just... so, and then the Ravens there, too, you're like... Who did they play last week? They beat the Bills. They got their butts kicked by the Bengals, and then they kind of came back. But then...
Who the hell was it?
I'm blanking on who the fuck the Ravens played.
I am, too. But...
The Broncos.
The Broncos. It was...
Because we all picked the Broncos, I think, to win last week, and then, of course, the Ravens win.
Apparently, Joe Flacco just needs to play in the rain this year.
Yeah, I think so. And the Ravens are the same thing too. It's like maybe they're good. I don't know.
That's because week 1 it was like, oh shit. Week 2 is like, ooh, well, the Bills are the worst team in the NFL. And then last week it was like, interesting.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued by that game because usually they're like defensive, low scoring games, but
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. And then, obviously, the season, or the week finale is the Chiefs versus the Broncos. I don't know. I picked the Broncos, everyone else picked the Chiefs, and I only picked the Broncos because I kind of, usually, if I'm say I'm down this week by one win to Cody or you or whatever, to somebody, or if I'm tied with another person for the top or whatever, I don't know, I just feel like
the kicker.
I knew everyone was going to pick the Chiefs, and I would usually, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to go with the Broncos, and kind of, just they're going to be hearing all week, Mahomes, and that kind of stuff. And then also the way they played against Baltimore, I think I just have a weird, funky feeling that they're going to...
I mean, what Mahomes is doing right now, it's obviously good because it's a record. But let's remember last year, at around this point in time, everybody was talking about Alex Smith being the league MVP.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we'll see when things get tight again. We'll see if Andy Reid starts condensing the field.
Yeah, let's see if Andy Reid realizes, The thing is, too, like, maybe I don't. Hopefully, Mahomes just doesn't allow him to do it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I definitely think that. Oh, here's another team that just dawned on me. And here's another. You brought up Alex Smith. The Redskins have a bye. So there's those. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I really. Those are the only two teams with a bye.
Panthers, Redskins?
Panthers, Redskins have a bye. So, I think the Chiefs will win that division, and I think Mahomes is going to have a hell of a season. But I just think he's going to have games that are not good.
Yeah.
And playing a division rival like the Broncos on the road. Like, I think this will be one of his worst games of the season. It's kind of where I'm thinking.
Yeah, it could. It could.
Like, I mean, I still think he'll have, like, good numbers, but he'll have, like, 2 or 3 picks. And that's what's going to kind of... Because also, it's like, the other reason why the Broncos have a good defense, or at least we think they do. And that Chiefs defense is terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad.
And so if the Broncos, I'm banking on the Broncos playing good enough defense that they're holding the Chiefs to field goals. And they're able to run the ball and control the clock. That's kind of what I'm going with. So,
yeah.
And before we wind up, I want to pressure Devin into doing his own power rankings or anything. I don't know. It could be anything. Whatever you want to write. Whatever you want to blog.
Okay.
It could be, like fucking best top plays of the week. Shit you saw. I don't know. Just anything.
All right.
Motherfucker. Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking do it. Because it's gonna be fun. All right. I'm calling it quits. I'm ready to go to bed. Peace out, motherfuckers.